Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. BlizzCon is going on, or has gone on as far as its live stream. So there are new announcements and we're getting cards galore. We're getting these like golden cards which seem cool, but they seem to be like new too. Like maybe they're not. So today is definitely probably the day you should log in if you haven't logged in to Hearthstone. Where else are we? I guess this is sort of a new background with things coming across the face. That's kind of distracting. There's really no reason to re-roll anything. Need to play some druid cards, some spell cards, and maybe I will play the monster hunt off screen. So yeah, this theoretically would give me 50 dust, and I don't see a reason not to take it. And this I think is fine to get some dust from too. But this one, I bet I don't own 2 copies of this card. So I might as well just hold on to this one. If you control 3 minions with 7 health, deal 7 damage to all enemies. It's a Boomsday Project card too. I guess I just have forgotten about it. So yeah, okay. I don't know if you get the same cards all the time. There's also a new card back for the month. So let's go ahead and make this our new favorite and then start playing Druid. So we have reset. We need to play ranked. We need to get back up to ideally his rank 17 or higher. I managed to do the end of the year video for games starting with the letter P. So we're making little bits of progress. I also had to take some time out to get some videos scheduled before that. So honestly, I think I probably woke up around 3 in the morning, did the video starting with P. Maybe I took a nap after making that video, then woke up again and scheduled the videos for this month, November. Like, I literally, for my 2:45 time slot, which certainly there is a question about, should I still be maintaining the 45-minute time slot, or is that stupid? It really comes down to, are people coming to YouTube specifically at the o'clock point? The main goal of shifting all my episodes to be released at the 45 minutes on the hour was so the videos would get notified more often. That literally has never been the case. It didn't improve anything in that case. But there might be a secondary thought that if all the big streamers are releasing at 2 o'clock and my video comes out at 2:45, maybe that would be right around the time people are done watching other streamers, other people's videos. I don't know. That's another thing that I just need feedback from. Honestly, like what are my fans' habit? What are the average YouTuber viewers' habit? I have no clue. With even though I do now have apparently 303 subscribers, so I grabbed a couple more subscribers somehow. The numbers are so low as far as views and subscribers that any form of testing is well within any margin of random error. So yeah, I can't get any more data there. But regardless, I scheduled things to air at the 2:45 time slot, but found out that I had made 3 episodes of playing a game called Back to Bed. It's a puzzle game. It's not very good. I didn't like it that much. And it didn't record right. So now I've been given this challenge to potentially play the game a second time and see what happens there. Yes, this was totally the right move. Totally the right move.
I fight.
So yeah, I now, because it didn't record right, I have to go and see if I can record it again and make 3 episodes. And really, it's kind of important because I don't want to start the end of the year recordings just at the wrong time. I really want to start on December 1st, so it runs right up to the nearly the end of the game, or nearly the end of the year. And so yeah, I've done the scheduling. I recorded an episode, and now I just need to play Hearthstone on this Friday. Hopefully somebody will actually watch, but the odds are probably kind of low. And then I'm gonna try to have a pretty normal, pretty sort of laid back, but still sort of productive weekend if I can do it. I don't want to, with these end of the year videos in particular, it's kind of crazy to even think about.
The scourge will devour all.
It's crazy to think about trying to record 2 or 3 episodes because every episode is going an incredibly long amount of time.
What a bomb!
So yeah, if we can do this twice, we can buff a bunch of people. And we'd be playing a spell, which is what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, I'm thinking 2 or 4 episodes over the weekend. Hopefully 3 or 4, but probably not 5 or 6. And as for Thursday, I was grocery shopping for most of the day, so there was a lot of time there where I was not doing a recording and making content, which always kind of sucks. 2 damage to all characters. Is there any way I could kill this guy? Not really.
For the wild. Job done.
So we've got a decent amount of news with Blizzard. I guess one of the things to point out is Activision Blizzard is giving away Destiny 2. But I tried to look at how you're supposed to go to battle.net and recover it and claim it for free. They're doing a claim it and it's free to keep type deal. And I want to claim it. Now, in all honesty, I really wouldn't play Destiny 2. I think it's way too late to get into that idea. Yeah, that is kind of silly. Let's do this, I guess.
For the wild. Job's done.
There you go. So yeah, I really doubt I'd get into Destiny, but since it's through the Battle.net launcher only, and since I already use Battle.net for Hearthstone, it's not crazy to get the game there. If Destiny 2 was also on Steam, I would still probably grab it, but it would kind of suck. Because I still very much, as I'm doing the wishlist cleanup and trying to better manage games I want to play and games I already own, and games I want to own, it's just more of an enforcement that if there's a second launcher that doesn't integrate with Steam, I'm not going to remember that I own this game, so I probably will succeed at claiming Destiny 2, never launching it, and forgetting within the course of a year that I even own it. And it's kind of a pretty blatant, obvious thing they're doing, where they're going to release DLC and try to make up the money from the base game. Moving forward, Gamma Sutra has an article, obituary, Mario Segale, S-E-G-A-L-E, which might be pronounced Seagal, but I'm not sure. The real-life namesake of Super Mario has passed away.
Rush the enemy!
He was the Washington-based real estate developer whose Nintendo's own Super Mario was named after. He passed away at the age of 84. Let's see. Let's see. So the Japanese Nintendo was renting a warehouse from Segale back in the 70s at roughly the same time as the Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto was searching for a proper name for the character, who was originally called Jumpman in Donkey Kong. The story goes that Nintendo was behind on its rent, resulting in confrontation between Segale and then President Minoru Arakawa. After settling the dispute, the company decided to rename Jumpman in his honor, and the rest, they say, is history. See. Says Segale tried to keep a low profile and wanted to be known for his many personal and work achievements. Was described as someone who loved hunting, fishing, his airplanes, and a good joke. The color red, great Italian food with no cheese, and an excellent cigar, and his view of the putrid sands. His passion was figuring out how to do things in new and better ways. It continues, which often include drawing things on the backs of napkins and placemats. The innovations he brought into the construction industry that are still seen today attest to his remarkable creativity. So, I mean, very minimally related to actual video game this news is, but okay. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has an article, Weekly Jobs Roundup, Monster Squad, Game Closure, and more are hiring now. So if you want to work for Game Closure in Tokyo, Japan, which sounds like the worst name you could ever name a company, Game Closure, as a systems engineer, that job is listed. If you want to be a Unity developer for Inno Games, INNO Games in Hamburg, Germany, there's a job listing. If you want to be a senior narrative writer for Impulse Gear, you can, in San Francisco, California, there's a job listing. 1 second, I'm gonna cough. I imagine I'm gonna get sick within the next 3 weeks. I kind of get the feeling that that's gonna happen. So I might miss some streams. If you want to be a senior producer for Cryptic Studios in Los Gatos, California, there's a job. If you want to be an Unreal Engine 4 gameplay programmer for Monster Squad in Seattle, Washington, there's a listing. So several job listings. TechRaptor has an article, Assassin's Creed Odyssey patch 1.0.6 hyphen free DLC features and fixes. So it's titled The Show Must Go On. The free DLC marks the first story of the Lost Tales of Greece series. These missions will be released over the next few months for free at regular intervals. Interesting. You know, it's kind of pretty obvious that Red Dead Redemption has completely eaten the lunch of Odyssey. The question really, I guess, would be, what do you do to fix that? Honestly, if I was Ubisoft, I would have said, hey, let's just not release Odyssey at all for 6 months. Just delay it. Because sure, you got some initial sales and initial hype and people were loving it, but now everybody's on to Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, I think a lot of people probably jumped from Odyssey to Spider-Man 4. The competition is just very, very tight this year, and Ubisoft in particular could have managed to delay the game and been fine. Let's move on. I guess there's nothing else to say about that. That's always the question, I guess, is whether they've made them more money had they released it, say, in February of 2019.
Speak your peace.
TechRaptor has another article. Demon hunting comes to mobile with Diablo Immortal. This is one of the things that was announced at BlizzCon, is that they are releasing an iOS and Android Diablo game called Diablo Immortal. I didn't really watch the cinematic, so I guess we can I can watch it now as far as the cinematic trailer. There was an implication, and I'm not 100% sure this is actually true, but there was an implication that this game would also launch on PC through the Battle.net launcher. And so if it is like Hearthstone, where you can play on your phone and you can play on your PC, that would be amazing. I don't know if it becomes really still a game you want to play though on your phone, because you gotta remember that Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, all those games are mostly about mouse clicking and hitting a couple of hotkey buttons on your keyboard to refill your health and mana and maybe cast a spell. When you have no hotkeys because you're playing on a cell phone, then you're just tapping the screen constantly. If you're tapping your screen constantly, you're probably going to hurt your fingers eventually. Well, I definitely am. And just get tired through that whole process.
Job's done.
The cinematics for a mobile Diablo game are not going to be great looking, so while I'm looking at a very fancy looking like theatrical cinematic right now as an advertisement, this is probably not what you're gonna see on your phone. And if it is what you see on your phone, it's gonna have to download all those cinematics and take up lots of space, which most phones don't have. It would be a major battery drainer, just gonna play a little defensively here.
For the wilds. Job's done.
And I really don't know how you would want to play Diablo. Unless it was something where it automatically attacked and it automatically went in the direction you pointed. So it's just a tap every few seconds to say I want to go in this direction or that direction. Which that might work. And then whenever the enemy, you were near an enemy, it would just attack by default. And then you'd have to tap like at the bottom of the screen left and right to heal yourself. There's a gameplay trailer down here. Let me watch this and see. I suppose I could have just restreamed all of BlizzCon's conference, but I didn't even know what was going on. Honestly, I was paying so little attention.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So it seems like they put all the moves towards the lower right corner so you can use your thumb. And one assumes you might be using your right thumb to move. Still kind of looks like something that would be more along the lines of a game that would work better on a tablet than a cell phone. I suppose you might run into problems also of just how many enemies really could be on screen. It's very possible that there's just slightly the same number, if even possibly less numbers of enemies on the screen in this game than there were in Diablo 2 or Diablo 3. Because those, for every character, there's an AI that would have to be programmed, and cell phone processors aren't designed to work that way. This really feels like a game that would just run really, really poorly on some older cell phones. Like, and I seriously doubt we're going to get to the point where people are going to be willing to buy new phones to play a single game.
Give that minion a turn to get for the wilds.
Yeah, so I'm watching the gameplay. It's okay. This game was built by NetEase in partnership with Blizzard Entertainment too, so that's
many secrets.
slightly interesting.
Science
I guess.
overwhelming.
And honestly, that might be the most interesting thing that came out of the BlizzCon announcements. Making little bits of progress. Yeah, we'll get at least 2 of these done relatively quickly. Gamatsu has an article, Destiny 2 for free, Destiny 2 for PC, free until November 18th. You have to claim your free gift. And existing players of Destiny 2 will receive an exclusive emblem not available in December.
Nature must be preserved.
You'll also be able to try the Forsaken's new 4 vs 4 hybrid mode Gambit from November 9th to 11th. Let's try to play more druid cards and more spells. Well, Gamatsu's link to claim the free gift took me directly to the page to claim it, so I just clicked item claimed. Okay. Cool. So apparently I now own Destiny 2. I'll probably never play it. But I would say everybody should grab it.
Time waits for no one.
There's really not a lot of reason to not grab it. TechRaptor has another article. A lot of these are just going to be from BlizzCon. Tragic Masters on the chat saying good game. Thank you, Tragic. Warcraft 3 Reforged revealed at BlizzCon. It's coming in 2019, which means that we're probably never going to get a remaster or even like a easy way to play Warcraft 1 or 2. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe nobody actually would want to go back and play Warcraft 1 and 2. Looking at the video, I just started watching the video of Warcraft 3. It looks pretty good. CG animations. They also talked about, I don't know if I even got a story about it, but there's the next Hearthstone expansion is going to be around trolls and Loa, animal god spirits. So we'll have to see if I can get any more information about that. So looking at Warcraft 3, there's a demon character they just showed, which is not something that I think has been in the Warcraft series at all. The Warcraft series, to my recollection, were only orcs and humans fighting each other, and that was it. So there was none of the other, none of the other characters or classes that have since been added to World of Warcraft. I guess I'd play Warcraft 3. It would make more sense than saying going back to like StarCraft 2. But in all honesty, I'd play them all. They all seem like if I can just make a sort of accelerated run through all the Warcrafts and all the StarCrafts and all the Diablos, I'd play them all and just talk about the story parts. And that's all I'd really talk about. Let's see.
Speak your peace.
And attack. Let's see, Gematsu has the same article about the Diablo Immortal announcement. Let's see. Diablo Immortal is supposed to happen after Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction and before Diablo 3. So you won't really be getting any new story. I'm not 100% sure that where the story would be after Diablo 3, honestly. I'm not sure if you can have a game set up to that point, or do you go back far into the past?
I can see.
TechRaptor has an article. We're gonna get a win streak at this rate. BlizzCon 2018, World of Warcraft Classic releases summer 2019. And BlizzCon is clearly probably the best day to play Hearthstone. All the good players at Hearthstone are not paying attention or playing. So the World of Warcraft Classic servers are coming out in 2019.
I must protect the wild.
I think they said it will be a single price, so you will get it if you are a World of Warcraft subscriber already. Let's see. Yeah, it says here, all players with a World of Warcraft subscription are able to play without any additional fee. I think that's a real smart move, although waiting till summer of 2019 may be too little too late, because people are not happy from what I hear about Battle for Azeroth.
I'll never tell.
I keep running into the same stories. Let's go ahead and play this. That's a little silly to do, but whatever. TechRaptor has an article. Grim Fandango Remastered makes a surprise debut on the Nintendo Switch. So, at this point, nothing really surprises me coming out to the Switch. Like, pretty much everything and anything seems like it is welcome on the Switch. Nintendo has adopted a pretty much excellent policy of we'll take all the games regardless of how quality or age rating or anything like that. And in all honesty, Nintendo probably should have done that for the Wii U or the Wii, or you know, even the GameCube or the Nintendo 64. The Wii, I think, pushed Nintendo in particular in an opposite direction, where they were being very, very careful to make everything family friendly, where Nintendo 64 did definitely have mature games on it, and I'm not sure if there was more than a couple dozen mature rated games on the Wii.
The light protects me.
Go ahead and let's see how this works.
For the wilds.
I'm still not sure you'd want to play Grim Fandango if you haven't played a lot of the other LucasArts games, and I'm not sure you'd really want to play it on the Switch, although maybe it's got some better improved controls with the Switch, or it makes more sense with the Switch. Grim Fandango seemed, when I played it last, to have some pretty awful tank controls in its 3D environment. It was the first 3D LucasArts point-and-click game. Let's see, TechRaptor has a article. Overwatch Reunion Cinematic introduces Hero 29 Ashe, A-S-H-E, and maybe one more, which is really just another one of these Pixar-esque animations. It shows McCree recovering some kind of robot humanoid character in some kind of implication of a getting the band back together style job. What's weird with the cinematic is they showed a lot of people, and I think each of these people are going to be slowly added to the roster, but they only really guaranteed that Ashe, who is this female McCree equivalent, you know, Western lady with a robot arm. So we're getting a win streak. That's good. That's what I figured was going to happen here. Yeah, I really don't care about Overwatch, but yeah, it still seems like it's somewhat being successful. I bet if I was to guess, Overwatch would have at least 3 or 4 more years in it before it started to really slow down, and they thought about shutting it down. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other games that never got any kind of following and was shut down immediately. Battleborn being the probably worst example of that. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Ubisoft removing references to gambling and skulls for the global Rainbow Six Siege release. Skulls, I guess, in an idea of not getting banned in China, in case China ever decides to allow games back again.
Speak your peace.
There's a quote here, these changes will be made in all versions for the game for a quote single global vision. Like Rainbow Six Siege's release feels very weird. Seems long and drawn out, and seems like they're playing for the long game. We have JJ on the chat saying hello. Yeah. Just keep on playing. I guess the longer Rainbow Six Siege goes on, the less likelihood that a like Tom Clancy Splinter Cell style game would get released, like, or even a Rainbow Six game that had more of a feeling of a single player storyline experience. Gematsu has an article, Steins Gate Elite bonuses, Steins Gate's linear bounded phenograph and 8-bit ADV, Steins Gate trailers, details, and screenshots. So there's been a lot of Steins Gate stuff announced. So Steins Gate linear bounded phenograph is included as a bonus with the PS4 and PC versions of Steins Gate Elite, while the 8-bit ADV Steins Gate is included as a bonus for the Switch version. So it seems like they probably are both videos, if I was to guess. Yeah, that would be my guess. These are just videos and not really games. Or maybe they are games.
I must protect the wild.
A side game of some sort. I'm trying to scroll down and see what it is. It looks like a visual novel. And Steins Gate, I'm pretty sure it was a visual novel, so it looks like it's just more of the same. Let's see. Like, I don't even need to re-roll this half the time. This just works. This deck is really good. It's running a 65% win ratio right now. That's very nice, but I assume I'm going to run into problems eventually. Somebody's going to break the win streak. I'm not going to make it up to legendary. That would be crazy if I did. Let's see. Just play that, I guess. In return. Man, there's a lot of screenshots here for the Steins Gate article. More than Gematsu usually has by a lot. And see, I just scrolled down like for 2 or 3 minutes, and I just reached the 8-bit ADV Steins Gate part of the article. Right, let's see. JJ says, can't wait till next E-Packs. Wonder what hero powers for the new hero classes will be. Oh, I imagine EPAX's expansion. I haven't heard anybody use that phrase before. Almost certainly what the new hero powers for the new hero classes will be. I haven't heard anything about there being new hero classes. That'd be an interesting idea, but it didn't seem like they were interested in doing that.
I fight.
If they were gonna do anything, I would say they need to maintain the same 9 hero classes. Otherwise it would just break the game, because then they'd have to make all kinds of new card sets for new hero classes. That wouldn't make any sense. Let's see. We could do 4 damage here, and then attack here, here,
I fight.
and here. And then in the turn. I wouldn't mind if they kept the same 9 hero classes and then gave you the ability to pick between 2 different hero abilities to start with. That would allow people who say hate the fact that the Warlock draws a card and does 2 damage to itself. They might be able to have an ability that does something different. I'm not sure what the hero ability be. It'd probably be something simple like recruit a demon or recruit a random minion and do 2 damage to yourself still. Let's see, let's do this and this and then this, and let's just see what happens.
For the wilds. Job done.
Yeah, I gotta scroll down here and make sure I'm looking at the chat. JT says, well, Knights of the Frozen Throne hero classes are rotating out, so the new troll expansion, each class will get a new troll. Yeah, it'll be a hero replacement card though, and hero replacement cards are still in the same class though. You're still a druid, you're just not this druid. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. Maybe I'm being pedantic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm now looking at the 8-bit ADV Steins Gate, and I'm not 100% sure what ADV means in this instance, and it looks like it's a whole NES adventure visual novel type game. And they only have like 3 screenshots of that, where they had tons and tons of screenshots of the other thing. So yeah, if Steins Gate ever becomes popular, oh, man, there he's gonna break the wind.
Your soul shall suffer.
We just shut up and take it. Not even paying attention. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has a survey. It says, the article is, survey, teens spend an average of $184 on video games in a year. That's actually, by how much I was spending when I was a teenager, pretty low. Like, I was probably closer to something that was $250, maybe $300. I ideally want to spend $300 on my Steam wish list every year. So I need to cast spells, but I don't know if I come here and do the monster hunt battles, those will count as casting spells. I don't think it will, but let's go ahead and do that anyways. Back to monster hunt. And further we go. Let's see what we were playing. I think we were playing Pirates. I'm gonna take that and just try that out. $184 is still $184 more than most teenagers are earning, except for perhaps through chores. So still pretty good for the video game market. Arguably now, though, that amount of money is being spent on fewer games as games get more expensive. Let's see. They surveyed 8,600 teenagers, and they expect to see an average of 215 $215 by the end of this current year. JJ said, "Not watched Steins Gate, but it seems interesting." There's a couple of visual novels, or there's like one visual novel, and then there was an anime made after it, and then there was another anime after it. It's a horror novel, I think I understand, as far as I understand it, where everything goes wrong, and then in the second anime, the main character manages to go to a different universe, or create a different universe or a different timeline or something to try and stop everything from going wrong, and it seems like everything still goes wrong in a different way. So I get the feel as a person who used to be an anime fan and really doesn't watch any anime because he's too busy. I get the feeling that it was somewhat popular, but not amazingly popular. It wasn't a super breakout hit or anything like that, but there probably, if you did some researches, is some of the multimedia implementations of the Sonic Escape series that are worth playing and or watching, and some of them that aren't. A lot of anime transitions from visual novels make them better, and it's kind of not worth the time to actually play the visual novel part, but sometimes they make them a lot worse. It also depends on whether you're a purist and hyper fan of the visual novel before the anime gets made. That's kind of the number one thing if you're going to be an anime fan, is that you're going to spend a lot of time doing research, or you're just going to jump in blind and potentially not know what's going on, be watching the wrong series, and totally not understand what's going on. The Fate Stay Night series is a great example of that. Let's see. Yeah, JJ says, "Damn, that's deep. Lately, I've been rewatching anime due to not being able to find any new good ones." There definitely has been a shift over the years for me, because I was watching like 80s and 70s anime originally, so now everything is much more moe in the animation style of cute anime girls, where there was a lot less of that in the old days. There's a lot more sci-fi in the old days. You really wouldn't see something like Ghost in the Shell or Akira made and coming out on TV in 2018 in Japan. There's a lot of shows that are cheap and bad, and that was always the case, but in the old days most of the bad shows were never translated and brought to the outside of Japan, now everything comes over to Japan almost at the exact same release time. But the good news is there's definitely a long list of old things to watch, and if you don't have a backlog and you're an anime fan, then you're really not much of an anime fan. Let's see. JJ says like Evangelion. Yeah, you can go back and try and watch some of Evangelion, but what do you really want to watch there? Do you want to watch the original TV series with the last 3 episodes that nobody really likes, or do you watch the 2 movies that were made to fix the last 3 episodes of the original TV series, or do you watch the complete reboot of the series where you're watching Evangelion 1.1 or what is it, 1.2? But if you get into the new reboot TV series, well, not TV series, they're movies, you still would have to wait to watch it in completion because they haven't released the final movie on it. So the best versions, and there were a lot of different versions by different people. Like the best versions of Neon Genesis Evangelion is to buy DVDs that are long out of print because you can't really get them like new. You'd have to buy them from used, and you'd pay a lot. And Evangelion in particular is a great example of where they won't bring over some of the Japanese collector's editions remakes that they made to the United States because they charge like $200 an episode in Japan, and they're afraid of what they call reverse importation, where if they sold it at a reasonable price in the United States or in the West, anywhere outside of Japan really, for like $60 an episode, which would still be really, really expensive, but better than $200 that they're charging in Japan, they're afraid that the Japanese people would just import those versions and watch it in English, because Japanese people are educated in English well enough to do that. But I'm talking about anime more than video games, so let's try to cover the more relevant and recent video game news. Otherwise I'll talk about anime for a pretty long time. And honestly, I'm not really that informed. After like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. It's been probably that long since I've actively, passionately been watching anime. I'll watch something every now and then on Netflix, but it's maybe one show a year. And I have DVDs of things that I bought like 10 years ago that are still in the plastic and I haven't watched them. I probably won't ever get around to it, because ever since I started making YouTube videos and trying to make a career out of that has taken up so much time that the idea of sitting down and just taking a break is never a viable option. Moving on, TechRaptor has an article. It says Orphea, O-R-P-H-E-A, is Heroes of the Storm's first original character, and 2019 updates have been announced. Let's see. So, I guess there's really no reason to describe Orphea when I can just do this and show you what she from for whatever that is. It really comes down to whether you play Heroes of the Storm. If you're interested in the idea of an original character, I'm not sure that that matters to too many people, because I'm not sure that too many people even play Heroes of the Storm still. See, and I'd certainly cast some spells. Alright. Store 2 health. Draw 2 cards at the beginning of the game. You can use your hero power before each turn. Twice each turn. Costs 1 less. Okay, that might work. I'm watching the Heroes of Storm animation, and it's funny, even compared to, even though this is still Blizzard doing this animation, it doesn't look as good as the animations for Overwatch.
Patton's got a grudge on you, princess.
Let's see. Yeah, and there's really nothing on this trailer in this video to say. This character carries what looks like a coffin on her back, and she seems to have dark vampiric style powers. And it goes on. The story goes on to talk about her abilities and such, but I don't play Heroes of the Storm, so I don't care about it. Let's see. Guess I don't need to deal with Blizzard's website anymore. Let's keep on playing. We don't want to lose momentum here.
Job done.
GameIndustry.biz has an article, Toby Fox to assemble team for Deltarune. Deltarune is an anagram for the word Undertale, and Deltarune seems to be, at least as it's being depicted right now in its demo form, a slight variation of what the game Undertale was. Do I want another coin? Do I want to use a coin to get a coin? Yeah, I don't see a reason for that. People are really hyped, or at least the mainstream video game media who loved Undertale are very hyped. Honestly, by the time I get around to playing Undertale, I'm not sure I'm going to be super interested in it. But the subtitle for this article is Undertale creator cites increased complexity burnout as factors requiring help for the next title. There's really no reason whatsoever to not hire a team and work with people after you've had success in a small indie game. Now, from what I see on Undertale, I don't feel like that's as complex a game as most games even. So it feels like Toby Fox probably isn't that good of a developer, but he's doing the right thing to ask for help, and he's probably a very good storyteller and story writer, and he should focus on that, and then he should give his ideas to people who can actually program it and possibly animate it, because I'm not 100% sure the Undertale visual style is actually a visual style, not just a limitation of inability to actually animate.
Tess versus Wargarble.
So yeah,
The trail leads here.
he's doing the right thing. Maybe he should just move up to a management, like producer level, in his role. He should just be the ID guy and move on. JJ says, well, gotta go for now. See you later. Okay, thanks for chatting. Make sure you subscribe and all of that. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, next article we have is actually the Hearthstone expansion. TechRaptor, PC Gamer leaks next Hearthstone expansion. I stopped listening and looking at PC Gamer, so I clearly did not see that article.
Job's done.
Let's see. It's called Rastakhan's Rumble. R-A-S-T-K-H-A-N-S apostrophe S. Let's see if I can bring it down to some basics information here, other than just the name. No, this article just says the name and really doesn't say anything more, and I imagine there is more information that is very quickly getting released. It's just a matter of I'm in the middle of streaming instead of seeking out that news source. TechRaptor has another article. The retro first-person shooter Dusk releases December 10th. This is probably more of a hype article than anything else. I haven't heard of Dusk, and I don't know if I want to play a retro first-person shooter. If I was going to, there's probably better ones to play. Like, as I'm doing my Steam wishlist cleanup, I'm looking at things like the Painkiller series and the Postal series, for example, which are retro first-person shooter games that have relevancy and came out in the old days. So I don't know why I would want to play something that's brand new designed to look like something that's old. I'm not certain I even want to play old games that look old. Let's see. Play this. And this. And okay. GameIndustry.biz has an assistant producer job listed. Let's see. For I can't even read what. For Playdemic, and it took me to a very different type of page. So I don't know if they are embedding a frame here or what. So Playdemic seems to be a subsidiary of TT Games, the developers of Lego games. So
this guy's toast.
And then do this. And this. Do I have enough to win? Yes, I do.
First kill.
Kill Nayas!
Yeah, Playdemic makes mobile games, so then probably are gonna make the mobile phone versions, or maybe, I don't know, Switch versions, maybe, of Lego games. I doubt they're doing anything besides that though. Alright, we'll leave this now since we've done that part. Let's see. And I need to cast some more spells, and we can do that probably by playing the mage pretty easily. Or you know what we could do? We could play Spell Hunter, and that would work really nice. This is all going to get turned into dust. I like that I'm getting these daily quests that are getting me card packs, but I really wish they'd give me some other kind of card packs. So 5 dust more than the average 50 dust. Yeah, so if I just come over here and play Spell Hunter, not only do I have a good chance of winning, but I will play spells only. TechRaptor has an article, Starlink Battle for Atlas review, Dinosaur Planets. Let's just scroll down real quick and see how they like it, which probably is not at all. I think I heard that it was like one of the worst launches in the Switch's history. If that is truly the case, however, their review does not reflect that. They gave it a 70.5 for very good. Let's see. If you're of a certain age, Starlink Battle for Atlas is an amazing prospect. Really nails the open world formula that Ubisoft has made famous and tones it down for kids. It's just too bad the game doesn't hit the mark whenever it tries to achieve beyond that. Alright, so I need to find some secrets to play. Pros, Star Fox theme if you play it on Switch, space exploration, and Saturday morning storytelling. Cons, Switch content exclusivity, lacking score, I guess that's musical score, underwhelming arsenal, and repetitive mission design. I guess TechRaptor took it from the perspective of a kid's game and decided that it was pretty good because of that. Moving on, TechRaptor has an article, Unleash Your Wild Side with Jill of the Jungle, free on Good Old Games. Jill of the Jungle is an old Pitfall slash just standard platforming game. I remember playing it on my PC. It kind of had this feel like you might be getting to see some nudity or something in it, but I don't think there actually was. But a lot of covers and pictures on the front of PC games were designed to feel like they were way more, selling a lot more than what they really were. It was one of Epic's earliest franchises, so it does kind of have some relevancy. And see, there's 3 games: Jill of the Jungle, Jill Goes Underground, and Jill Saves the Prince. What's weird here is that inherently tells you that when this game came out, people were cool with a female protagonist. So the question kind of becomes, when did it get decided that female protagonists were not gonna sell games? I wouldn't be surprised if it really was just a sentiment from a lot of Japanese companies. Let's see, I'm on Good Old Games, and I'm trying to see how I could
to my web.
Get the picture to change. There you go, I had to zoom out a little bit. Honestly, though, Jill of the Jungle probably was not a very good game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It looks like garbage by modern standards. There really should be a remake or something. And there should have been one a long time ago. For all these video game companies that want to support women, you think it would be pretty easy to say, hey, we have this series that we did a long time ago. Let's bring that back and have a female protagonist. Let's see, moving on. Come on, load page. TechRaptor has an article, Steam Watch - Steam developer called out by community for stealing games. And then I'm seeing a picture of a game called Prison Break, a game called Inside, a game called It's Good to Be a Pirate, a game called Suzuka Fly, a game called, I think, Lost and Found. Let's see. Track. Guess we'll take this and this and this and do that. So Steam developer Garnudo Games, Garnudo, has become the center of attention for some community members. Garnudo Games' title It's Good to Be a Pirate RPG was first of Garnudo Games' titles to be called out by the Steam community and the supposed original developer as being stolen from RPGmaker.net. I wonder how many. I didn't even know that games got posted to RPGmaker.net, but I wonder how many of those RPG Maker games on Steam are literally stolen. That would make so much sense as to why so many come out on Steam. The allegation stemmed from the Steam Community Hub discussion created by Steam user Gray007, in which Gray alleged the game was making use of stolen assets from Square Enix's Lufia 2, with users citing similarities in the environmental designs of collectible games. The thread currently lacks any form of response from Garnudo Games. However, a Steam user by the name of Rabbit entered the thread claiming the game posted to Steam by Garnudo Games was in fact their own game that Garnudo had lifted from the site RPGmaker.net. See, now inherently this could just be a troll claim. It could all be false. That is a possibility.
I hunt alone.
I guess what a story like this needs to have is for everybody to see what happens in a few days with Valve, if Valve addresses it. There's a quote here that's a long paragraph of the character the user named Rabbit stating it's like, this guy is a fraud trying to sell work of third parties. I am the creator of this game, and yes, it contains rips of Lufia tile set. Good notice on that. This was a very old game I created on RPG Maker just for fun. This game was not to be sold in the first place. It was made for the RPG Maker community as freeware and fun spare time project. So the original creator is admitting that he stole the art that's in the game. So it's like a theft of a theft almost. Well, pretty much. Three minions from your deck, they attack enemy minions and die. If I was to do that, actually nothing would happen because I don't have any minions in my deck.
I hunt alone.
Let's see. So there's more people coming on and claiming that these games are stolen. And then there's more games. See, but the problem with this TechRaptor article is until we get Valve to act, to take any action, the story just sits here with a lot of people alleging these games are stolen. They probably are. The thing about this developer, I know he was a troll developer in the first place, though. Like, I've been looking at the games he's been releasing, and he's not been releasing good quality products. See, I need to just play 5 more spells. So there's really 2 different reasons. Even if you can't prove he stole anything, there's still a pretty good reason to kick him off Steam just for his very low effort games. And I know Valve doesn't want to just be the curator of quality, but when you're releasing everything you've released is so terrible and so obviously bad, there needs to be some level of standard. I think it's not unfair, in my opinion, for a storefront to curate what they put on their shelves, unless they're curating because of something I don't agree with. is about what all I can say there. Yeah.
I hunt alone.
Moving on to another story, Gamatsu has an article. Hitman Absolution and Blood Money have been rated for the PS4 and Xbox One in Europe. So that's a little strange that the old Hitman games have been rated. I guess they're coming back as backwards compatible. Let's see.
I hunt alone.
Keep on that turning. Matsu has another article. Forgotten Anne for the Switch launches November 9th. Still want to play Forgotten Anne. Haven't gotten around to it. And 2018 has been, like most years, there is a long list of games I'd like to play brand new, but I don't get around to it. But 2018 has been particularly painful because of just how many games have actually come out. Apparently my deck has some minions. No, it doesn't. It's just this can't be played right now.
To my side. I hunt alone.
Gamatsu has another article. Jake Hunter detective story Prism of Eyes has been rated under its English name in Korea, which I assume means that it will just be in English in Korea. The rating suggests that an English version of Tantai Saburo Jingjuji Prism of Eyes is currently in production. The game first launched for the PS4 and Switch in Japan in August. So yes, it seems like if that is a indication at least that there will be an English version, that doesn't inherently mean though that the English version is for the West. English versions are often released across the Asias, since so many different Asian countries have different languages, and most can speak English as a common language.
It's harvest time.
Gamatsu has another article. 7 Scarlet, that's 7 apostrophe Scarlet, rated for the PC in Korea. It's another Idea Factory developed otome visual novel coming to the PC. So I've been looking at quite a few Idea Factory visual novels that are on Steam and on my wish list. And I think Idea Factory does a somewhat decent job in what they make and release. Not always the best of the best, but I don't think they usually come out with total garbage either. And I'm still not 100% sure what otome means, but it's probably, from the screenshot, a girl dating a bunch of guys in a dating simulator, because I'm seeing a picture of one girl and several guys at a cookout. Let's see. Do we want to play another weapon? Not yet. TechRaptor has an article. New Sakura Wars slips out of fiscal year 2019 release window. So, the nearly half, it feels like, of the games that were announced earlier this year at the Tokyo Game Show actually are meeting the time that they said they were coming out. That's not super surprising. I don't know why the Japanese even bother to say there is a release window, because they do the right thing, whereas Western companies will just rush out of the game and make their employees work way too hard and crunch. They do the right thing and delay things, but generally speaking, Japanese companies cause their employees to always work way too hard and crunch, so that problem isn't actually totally fixed either. Do that.
Job's done.
Let's see. TechRaptor has another article. Little Dragon's Cafe expands its menu to PC. So, the game Little Dragon's Cafe is coming to Steam on November 15th. I'm not 100% sure I want to play any game where it sounds like you're doing just a regular job. The idea of running a cafe that also has dragons in it is slightly interesting. Feels like it might be similar to a Animal Crossing style game. The graphics for this game, as I'm looking at the trailer, are a little polygonal, but then they have a unique textured art style to them. But now I'm seeing some gameplay mechanics where you're just doing a matching game. Yeah, I don't think you do anything other than cook. It's kind of looks like it's a Stardew Valley type game mixed in with something like Dinner Dash or Diner Dash. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold. I want to play Little Dragon's Cafe, but we'll see. We'll see when it actually comes out. Let's play this. And this. That. And it's not attack. TechRaptor has another article. Valve updates Proton in 3.16-4 beta. Soul Calibur 6 bans potentially have been fixed. So this is kind of a follow-up of the problem where people who were using Proton to run Windows games in Linux and were playing Soul Calibur 6 were getting banned, and they weren't just getting disallowed from playing online when they were running it on Linux. Their entire account was getting banned, and I'm not 100% sure that this that was ever really addressed or fixed. Not sure if any of those people got unbanned ever. Let's see. Do this. We could play cards. Do I need to play cards? Moving on, TechRaptor has an article. Sega Ages Phantasy Star comes west later this month. You may notice that I haven't been talking about any games that came out on Steam. There are some that came out on Steam, but they kind of were yesterday. I think we may have already hit the weekend where Valve is just not going to approve games. Let's see, I'm looking at the Sega Ages Fantasy.
Access denied.
Yeah, this is just another really old Sega game that they're clinging to the rest. what is it coming out on is the question. Though. Apparently it's coming to consoles? Some consoles?
I wonder.
Switch apparently is what TechRaptor thinks it's coming out on. I bet it comes to Steam too. Right. How are we gonna do this? We play this and then do this. And we do this. We do that.
Quickly.
Let me attack here. In return. Alright, first game on Steam today. We have another hardcore game, which looks like a very low effort game. I guess you'd call it a platformer. It looks like total garbage. And it's $1.99. See, even if this was like a joke game and there was reasons for this, like I kind of don't believe it. Yeah, this is one of those games that's a rage quit game designed to make you die over and over again. Right.
I hunt alone.
Here. Play this. Do a bunch of spells. Misdirect.
Job's done.
In the turn. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Zynga investing in Harry Potter and Game of Thrones titles. Both licenses will be casual mobile experiences to be developed by the company's US studios. So Zynga has fallen to the levels of Telltale of not being able to make its own original IP games. Oh well, I suppose. We've got a game on Steam called Coffee Biz that looks like a simplistic simulator. Well, that's not simplistic, certainly. That looks like a mess. They want $6.99 for that game. Again, I doubt I'm gonna find anything that is even yeah, I seriously doubt I'm gonna find anything that is even worth putting on the follow list or the wish list today. We've got a game on Steam that's already mostly negative called SOS Survival. Looks like it's probably an asset flip game, if I was to guess. $15.99 with in-game items.
Magic neutralized.
Yep. I don't think I need to go any further on that. I'm gonna be a little prejudiced and just prejudge that game without even doing a lot of research. You gonna play or what? Yeah, hit that guy.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
Okay. 4 wolves. Deal 5 damage and 2 to the adjacent.
That's not a valid target.
I'm gonna lose here, but I played enough spell cards, that's all that really mattered. We have a game on Steam called Subscribe and Punch. which looks like a 2D fighter. This looks relatively good enough to be put on the follow list. Like maybe. Yeah, it's free too, so the price is good. I'm gonna have to make a decision, I guess, on free games on the follow list. Like, I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, are free games that have a certain number of positive reviews just going to automatically be allowed? Or am I going to do something different? Well, speaking of doing something different, we've been going for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I think I should break up this recording and make a second recording. For the past week, I've been mostly trying to do quick 2-hour single episode streams. I think we've got enough news, honestly, and enough to do with the European and Asian account where that doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, you can support me through Patreon or by gifting me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.